Today we are checking out this 2018 Porsche Macan GTS here at Platinum Motor Cars in Birmingham, Michigan. The Macan is Porsche's compact crossover. It's a little small luxury sports utility vehicle that sits below the Cayenne in the lineup. The GTS trim specifically slots in between the S and the turbo trim, so it sits right there in the middle. From a powertrain perspective, it has a 3-liter turbocharged V6. In this thing, it makes 360 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. You get a PDK transmission, which can be equipped with launch control if you get the Sport Chrono pack. With that, tests have reported this thing to do 0 to 60 in as low as 4.4 seconds, which is really impressive for a crossover, essentially. From an exterior styling perspective, the Macan sits below the Cayenne, so it's smaller, but it does really share all these design elements with the rest of the Porsche family. If you just look at the headlights, you've got the 4 LED points in like the daytime running lights. You can see that in a Boxster, you can see that in the 911, you can see that, heck, even a 918 had that. Overall, this vehicle, I think, is a very good-looking, sleek, smaller crossover. It's definitely smaller than the Cayenne. It's about the size of like an Audi Q5, which it shares the same family with. But you can option these big 21-inch wheels, which really make this whole thing look great. This one specifically white with all the black trim and accents, all stormtroopered out. It's a good-looking little crossover. If we come around to the back, now this is more of a sporty vehicle, so it doesn't really emphasize the utility as much. It still has some amount, but honestly it looks more like a slightly lifted wagon than something like a Cayenne. So if you really need the larger practicality and the more, off-road oriented vehicle, you might want to opt for the larger Porsche SUV. This almost is like a lifted wagon. The back seats have moderate amounts of legroom, and in the trunk in the back, it's enough size, it's a decent size, but it's not cavernous by any stretch of the matter. Now, in the back, I really do think it looks really, really nice. You've got these like sculpted, almost three-dimensional looking taillights, quad tailpipes. This car has the blacked out Porsche badge in the back and says Macan GTS, so you know what it is. GTS, not quite turbo level, above the S. It's a good happy medium. The inside of a Macan is unmistakably a Porsche. First off, the switch to start the car is on the left side of the steering wheel, right here, like in 911s, but they actually have a little switch thing that's in there, so you don't need to actually insert the key like you would in some of the 911s. Second off is there are buttons, a lot of buttons everywhere. It's nice when you get a Porsche that's well optioned, because then you have all the buttons that are filled with little things to do, whether it's suspension or Sport Plus, whether it's heated or cooled seats. It really does suck when you get a Porsche and you don't option it up and you just get a bunch of blank buttons. Either way, there are a ton, which on the plus side, it's nice because there are physical controls to everything. You don't need to dig through menus on a touchscreen. You will get used to where the buttons are and the layout, and you can just click through them to command what you want. Unlike in certain vehicles, you might have to go through nested menus on a touchscreen and look away. There's even buttons up here at the top for, here's the parking sensors, you've got light controls, you've got opening and closing this large panoramic sunroof. The overall look and feel and everything, as soon as you set foot inside this vehicle, is very, very much a Porsche. And honestly, like the Panamera, like the Cayenne, they feel very similar to like a 911 sports car type of thing. The cockpit is very sports car-like. It's not like a conventional, just kind of boring luxury crossover vehicle. Some other cool things about the interior. It has not gone to one giant digital display like some of the vehicles in the Audi family and other ones out there. You still have an analog conventional dial with needles that go up and down. The tachometer sits right in the middle, more of a sporty feel, but the right screen is a small digital display. You can opt for many things to display on that small screen. The infotainment, I don't think, is the best one out there. It functions, it does well, but I don't think it's quite on par with something like a BMW iDrive or an Audi MMI or the Mercedes system. Steering wheel is very nice, the perfect size. You get the Porsche crest in the middle, and then you get these metal machined PDK paddles. So this is a crossover that can get a true dual clutch PDK transmission, which is pretty dang awesome. So there we go, a quick overview of everything you need to know about the Porsche Macan GTS. This specific vehicle can be found here at Platinum Motor Cars. It's listed for sale at $74,900, and it is a very nicely equipped example. It's got the 21-inch wheels, it's got all the nice interior functions, and it looks awesome. Just look at this thing. And as you can tell, it is surrounded in a showroom by a bunch of very, very nice vehicles. Hope you guys liked this video. If you have any questions, please comment below. Thanks for watching.